Okay, got the recorder going now. We're going to look at Twitter. Okay, let me put the chart up here. Okay, here's a Twitter chart. A couple things that I'm looking at, which are very important. Number one, the blue and the red are the 50 and the 200-day moving averages just below the market. Not just below anymore. Actually, this morning when the stock was trading like 33.60, okay, and the stock was down, these were just below. Nonetheless, that area right there, which coincides with this big volume here, that is going to be some major support for this stock. Now, there definitely is resistance right here around 35 to 35 and a half. More resistance up here at 37 and a quarter or so, which is really the area I was targeting this morning when the stock was down, which coincides with the expected move, which we'll see in a moment. But one other concept that I wanted to show you, okay, if we look at the high here of 47, or almost 48, last June, to the low here, okay, at 26, okay, that 50% retracement, okay, which is something that technical traders look at very, very closely. So you take the high up here and the low right here, okay? Okay, and that difference is about $22 from high to low. Everybody see that? Okay, so 50% of that would be $11. So $11 off of the low would put the stock at basically 37. Now, tried getting there. Actually, it did get there. Look at that. It did get there. So it rallied there right before the huge December massive sell-off. That is the spot I'm looking for again. That 37, which will be some pretty serious resistance. It does, Michael. It does. But what it does now is also set up some very big resistance there. And I like the upside move still because of the major support right here. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is try and play some upside. I know that, and let me get a whiteboard up here. Today is the 22nd? Stock is now 34.40. And the expected move is right at about $3.50 to the end of the week. A little shy of that, about $3.40. Okay, which gives us a range of 31 up to 37.80. Now, from that chart, and same thing here, you can see there's big time support. The 50-day moving average 32 and a quarter. The 200-day moving average is 32.90. So huge support between 32 and a quarter and 33. Okay. And there's definitely resistance at 35, 35 half-ish. But then back up at around 37.10. I like where this thing is trending. I like some of the lowered expectations here. And a couple of things that we talked about when I was on TD was, the rest of the social media stocks, they've been just all over the place. This thing has just hung in there. It's just hung in there. It's been grinding. That sets up for a nice move. Now, that move could be to the downside if earnings are really crap. I like it to the upside here. I like it a lot. So, no, Michael, I did not talk about Oracle yet. So I want to try and find calendar, upside calendar, vertical, something. So one other thing, it's a little bit more aggressive. One other thing I was looking at here was a diagonal, which is the combination of a calendar and a vertical. Okay, let's see this one. This is the 38.37 1 week diagonal. Costs about 35 cents. This looks great. Let's lower volatility a little bit going out next week here. Can't really see it getting much below there. So does everybody understand the concept behind a diagonal, which is the combination of just a regular vertical call spread and a calendar? So definitely, trying to take advantage of the directional move, just like a calendar, but it gives you a little bit more delta. And taking a look at the big difference in volatility. I like this a lot, guys. I'm going to put this out here. Now, we have a lot of time still today. I'd love to see if we could buy this thing for 35 cents. Now, we're not going to be able to buy it for 35 cents right now. So don't throw it out there and say, oh, midpoint is 37, 38. At what point would we see this come down to 35 cents? What would have to happen to the stock, guys? Anybody? Yep, it would have to go down. Go down a little bit. 20, 30 cents. All right, so before I put that out, let's take a look at what Joe is saying about an iron condor. How do we know options are overpriced? They may be expensive, but I wouldn't say they're overpriced. They may be expensive from a volatility standpoint. Okay, but let's take a look at an iron condor. So with this range that's expected of basically 31 to 38. Let's take a look at the 31 and a half, 30 and a half, and 38, or actually 37 and a half, 38 and a half. Okay, it's about 40 cents. They're not wide spreads at all, Bill. They're pennies wide. These are about as tight as we're ever going to see. So the 31.5, 30.5, and 37.5, 38.5 iron condor is about 40 cents. That puts our break evens at like 31.10 up to 37.90. Okay, kind of right there. But for 40 cents, not enough for me. If we get 45 cents, I would consider it. Everybody see that? Well, at 40 cents, David, the reward is 40 cents. The risk is 60 cents. So it's 0.67 to 1. You see how I'm calculating that? That's just not expensive enough. But you can see, you know, let's say we could get 45 cents. You know, you may look at it and say, oh, it's only a nickel more, right? I'm going to sell it for 40 because it's only a nickel more. But what if we could sell this for 45 cents? Now, that totally changes the structure of this. You got reward of 45. You have risk of 55. It now changes that reward to risk. It's still lighter than we would like, but it ups it to 0.82 to 1. David, I saw your answer, your statement earlier. I was going to get to it. You need a big outsized move. If you don't get it, you're going to get crushed on that. If you get a big outsized move, you're going to do really well. But, you know, volatility is going to get crushed on that. Which, you know, that could work. That could work. But you need a big move. Okay. All right. So I'm still very much in favor of that diagonal call spread in Twitter here. But, you know, I want to let this simmer a little bit and come into us a little. We don't have to go run and pay for it right now with, you know, kind of where it's trading. In fact, 35 might work right now. All right, any questions? Otherwise, let me get the video and whiteboard put up here and get a signal out here, and I'll be right back. Are we good? All right, be right back, guys.